I always knew money could buy revenge. I just never thought I'd be the one writing the check. My name is Andrea, and I'm about to purchase my childhood home just to evict my own family. Dramatic? Maybe. But 28 years of being invisible does something to a person. Are you absolutely sure about this? Tamara's voice crackles through my AirPods as I stare at my laptop screen. The Zillow listing mockingly displays my family home, all 2,400 square feet of carefully curated memories I was never truly part of. They didn't even tell me they were selling it, Tam. Found out by accident while browsing listings for investment properties. My voice sounds hollow, even to me. $450,000. That's what they're asking for the house where I learned I'd never be good enough. Girl, you're worth 10 times that now. They don't even know about your company, do they? I laugh, but there's no humor in it. Why would they? Owen's failed gym franchise was way more interesting than my little website thing. I minimize the browser window, showing my company's latest valuation. $40 million. Remember when I tried telling them about my first big contract? Oh God, the Christmas dinner disaster? Yeah, Dad was too busy helping Owen draft another business loan application. Mom just patted my hand and asked if I'd considered teaching instead. Something more stable. My phone buzzes. Another group text from Mom. I glance at it briefly. Family dinner this Sunday. Owen has exciting news about his new protein shake venture. I leave it on read. Morgan can handle the purchase through the corporate entity, I continue, pulling up my lawyer's contact. They'll never know it's me until closing day. Andrea. Tamara's voice softens. I support you, but this is nuclear. You sure you want to go there? The memory hits me like a punch to the gut. Me at 16, proudly showing Mom my first freelance check. $500 for building a local restaurant's website. She barely looked up from Owen's college application essays. Your brother's gonna make something of himself, she'd said. This computer stuff is just a phase. My fingers hover over Morgan's number. Remember when Owen crashed my car? The one I bought myself from those phase earnings? And your parents made you sign it over to him because he needed it more for his business meetings? Exactly. I hit dial. Morgan, it's Andrea. I need you to arrange a cash purchase under the corporate name. Yes, today if possible. And Morgan, make sure the sellers don't know who's buying until closing day. I want to deliver that news personally. I hang up and pull up the property listing again. The familiar red brick exterior, the bay window where I used to code late into the night, the porch where Owen would hold court with his friends while I slipped in through the side door, invisible as always. My phone lights up. A text from Owen. Sis, need to borrow $5K for this amazing opportunity. We'll pay back double in 3 months. I screenshot it and add it to my folder labeled Receipts. Right next to the documentation of every loan they've given him, every chance they've handed him, every time they chose him. Tam, you still there? Always. You okay? I open my company's financial dashboard. 40 million in revenue, 200 employees, offices in 3 cities, all built from that little website thing they couldn't be bothered to understand. I'm about to be. I forward the purchase documents to Morgan. You know what the best part is? They always said I needed to learn how the real world works. And? Lesson 1. Everything has a price. I hit send on the wire transfer. Even karma. My phone buzzes again. Mom sharing photos of Owen's latest business meeting at some overpriced restaurant. The same restaurant that rejected my offer to build them a website 12 years ago. Morgan says we can close by Friday, I tell Tamara. Want to help me pick out what to wear when I tell my family they have 30 days to vacate? Girl, I already know you have that outfit planned. She's right. The Chanel suit is hanging in my closet, tag still on. Black like morning clothes, or maybe like an executioner's uniform. You know they're going to try to guilt you, Tamara warns. Play the family card. I close my laptop. Decision made. Funny thing about being invisible, Tam. After a while, You learn to see right through other people, too. My phone lights up one final time. A confirmation email from Morgan. Purchase agreement ready for signing. I smile, thinking of that 16-year-old girl with her first freelance check. Don't worry, kid. Sometimes the best revenge isn't living well. It's buying the house they never thought you could afford, just to show them the door. The closing meeting room feels like a stage, and I've been rehearsing this scene in my head for days. Morgan sits beside me, arranging paperwork with practiced precision. My Chanel suit feels like armor. The sellers are here, Morgan's assistant whispers. I adjust my sunglasses, heart pounding. Showtime. Mom sweeps in first, all pearls and practiced charm. Dad shuffles behind her, looking tired but relieved. They freeze when they see me, confusion flickering across their faces. They don't recognize me yet. The sunglasses and power suit are a far cry from the invisible daughter they're used to. Oh, you must be from the investment company, Mom chirps, extending her hand. We're so pleased. I remove my sunglasses slowly, savoring the moment her smile crashes. Andrea, Dad's voice cracks. Hello, Mother, Father. I keep my voice light, professional. Shall we begin? Mom's face goes through a spectacular range of emotions. Shock, confusion, anger, fear. What is this? What are you doing here? Buying your house. I slide the paperwork across the table. Morgan, please walk them through the terms. This is ridiculous, Mom sputters. We can't sell to you. Actually, you can, and you will. Morgan's voice is calm, clinical. The purchase agreement is binding. The funds have been verified. Unless you're prepared to breach contract and face substantial penalties. The door bursts open. Owen storms in, 20 minutes late as usual. Sorry. Got caught in traffic and... He stops dead when he sees me. What the hell? Your sister is the buyer, Dad explains weakly. Owen's face reddens. No way. How could you even afford? The funds have cleared, Morgan interrupts. All that's left is to sign. Where did you get this kind of money? Mom demands, her voice rising. Have you been lying to us about, remember my little website thing? I pull up my company's homepage on my tablet. The one you were too busy to hear about? It's worth $40 million now. Funny how that works. The silence is delicious. But this is our home, Mom whispers. Was your home? I slide another document across the table. This is your notice to vacate. You have 30 days. Owen slams his hand on the table. You can't do this. I live there. Where am I supposed to go? Maybe try one of those business contacts you needed my car for? I smile. Or perhaps invest some of that protein shake money in a nice apartment. Andrea, please, Dad tries. We can talk about this. We're family. Family, I lean forward. Was I family when you canceled my college tour to pay for Owen's third attempt at starting a business? Was I family when Mom told all her friends I was finding myself while I was actually building a company from my studio apartment? You're being dramatic, Mom snaps, but her hands are shaking. We always supported you. Name one thing I've done in the last 5 years. I wait. The silence stretches. That's what I thought. You think this makes you better than us? Owen's voice cracks with rage. No. I stand gathering my papers. That happened years ago. You just never noticed. Morgan slides the final documents forward. Sign here, please, and here, initial here. I watch them sign, one by one. Dad's hand trembles. Mom's signature is angry, jagged. Owen refuses until Morgan calmly explains the legal consequences of blocking the sale. 30 days, I remind them, tucking the signed papers into my briefcase. I've arranged for a property inspector to visit next week. I suggest you start packing. Andrea, Mom tries one last time, grabbing my arm as I turn to leave. What happened to you? I gently remove her hand. Nothing happened to me, Mother. I happened to myself. You just missed it all. The click of my heels echoes as I walk out. In the hallway, Tamar waits with a knowing look. How'd it go? Exactly as expected. I pull out my phone, already buzzing with texts and missed calls. How long until they start the guilt campaign? 3, 2, 1. Right on cue, a text from Mom. How could you do this to your own family? I block the number. Want to grab a drink? Tamara offers. Celebrate? I look at the signed papers in my briefcase. 28 years of being invisible, ended with a signature and a notice to vacate. No, I decide. I want to go see my house. Your house, Tamara repeats, grinning. Sounds good, doesn't it? It does. But not as good as the look on their faces when they finally realized, that the daughter they never saw coming had become impossible to ignore. 30 days, I murmur, stepping into the elevator. Time to make up for lost time. Day 3 of what Tamara calls the Great Holmes family meltdown starts with 17 missed calls and 34 text messages. I scroll through them during my morning coffee. Mom, we need to talk about this like adults. Owen, you've lost your mind. Dad, please call us. Owen again. I've got investors looking at my new business plan. Just need 60 more days. Your mother's in the lobby, my assistant Sarah announces through the intercom. Again. I glance at the security feed on my monitor. Mom's wearing her best wronged parent outfit, the cream-colored suit she saves for guilt trips and funeral services. How long has she been there? 2 hours. Should I call security? No, let her wait. I turn back to my actual work, a merger deal worth $8 million. The kind of business my family never thought I could handle. My phone buzzes with another text from Owen. Remember when I helped you with your math homework? You owe me. I actually laugh out loud at that one. Hey Tam, I call to the next office. Remember when Owen helped me with math? Tamara appears in my doorway, grinning. You mean when he copied your answers and then told your parents he was tutoring you? The very same. I forward her Owen's text. Apparently, that equals house equity now. Your mom's still downstairs, Tamara reminds me. Going for the record? Let's see how long she can keep up the concerned mother act. I pull up another security camera feed. Oh look, she's crying now. Right on schedule. My desk phone rings. The lobby. Ms. Holmes, your mother is asking to use the bathroom. Direct her to the Starbucks across the street. Tamara raises an eyebrow. Ice cold. Remember my high school graduation? I counter. When she left early because Owen had a business emergency? Wasn't that the protein powder pyramid scheme? No, that was last year. This was the luxury dog accessories thing. My phone lights up with a new message. A photo from Dad. It's my old bedroom, still with the faded coding posters on the wall. The text reads, "So many memories here." Nice try, I mutter, typing back. Like the memory of selling my computer to fund Owen's DJ equipment? The response comes quickly. We were trying to support both of you. Really? I shoot back. What's my company called? What do we do? When was the last time you asked? No response. Sarah's voice comes through again. Your brother's here now too. The security feed shows Owen joining Mom, his designer clothes slightly rumpled, probably straight from another investor meeting at the golf club. Should I go down? I ask Tamara. And give them what they want? Please. She perches on my desk. Besides, don't you have that call with Tokyo in 10 minutes? Right on cue, my calendar reminder pops up. While my family stages their lobby sit-in, I'm about to close a deal that'll add another 0 to my net worth. Ms. Holmes, Sarah again, your brother is getting loud. I switch on the audio feed. Owen's voice fills my office. Can't treat family like this. We raised her. No, I whisper. You ignored me. There's a difference. The memory hits unexpectedly. Me at 18, showing Mom my first major client contract. She'd barely glanced at it before launching into a story about Owen's latest venture. Real businesses have offices, sweetie, she'd said. Not just websites. Well, look at me now. 28 stories of real business. Security's asking what to do, Sarah reports. I check the time. 2 hours and 17 minutes of their performance. Not bad. Tell them they can either leave voluntarily or be escorted out. Their choice. Through the camera, I watched the scene unfold. The security guard's polite but firm request. Mom's dramatic tears. Owen's blustering threats about lawyers. Dad's absent, probably still trying to figure out where it all went wrong. They're gone, Sarah confirms a few minutes later. Send the lobby footage to Morgan, I instruct. Document everything. My phone buzzes one last time. Mom, I don't recognize you anymore. I type back, that's funny. You never recognized me before either. Tamara watches me set the phone down. You okay? Better than okay. I pull up the Tokyo contract. I'm finally visible. Your mom left her scarf, Sarah announces. Have it sent to the house, I decide. She has 27 days left to collect her things anyway. The afternoon sun slants through my office windows, illuminating the skyline I helped build while they weren't watching. Somewhere across town, my family is probably having an emergency meeting, trying to figure out how their invisible daughter got so bright they can't look at her anymore. Let them squint. You're turning into them, Tamara says over lunch, 3 weeks into the eviction period. And don't give me that look. You know exactly what I mean. I push my salad around the plate. I'm nothing like them. Really? She pulls out her phone. Let's review. You ignored your mom's medical appointment text. She was faking for attention. You blocked Owen's girlfriend when she tried to reason with you, after she called me a heartless bitch. And you're having the locks changed tomorrow, even though they still have a week left. I set my fork down. The property inspector found Owen trying to remove fixtures. My house. My rules. See? Tamara leans forward. That right there, my house, my rules, sounds exactly like your mom when she... Don't. My voice turns sharp. Don't you dare compare me to her. The waiter arrives with our drinks, breaking the tension. After he leaves, Tamara tries again, softer this time. I'm just saying, be careful. Revenge feels good until it doesn't. My phone buzzes, an alert from the security company. Someone's at the house. It's Dad, I say, checking the camera feed. He's loading boxes into his car. At least he's actually packing, Tamara points out. Unlike your mom, who's still posting dramatic Facebook updates about ungrateful children. I watch Dad struggle with a heavy box. For a moment, he looks older than I've ever seen him. Then I remember last Thanksgiving, when he smiled proudly at Owen's announcement of yet another business venture while completely ignoring my company's IPO news. He's taking the photo albums, I note, zooming in on the feed. Are you going to stop him? No, I lock my phone. Let him have the precious memories of his real child. Tamara sighs. Andrea, my phone rings. Morgan. We have a problem, he says without preamble. Owen's filing an emergency injunction. Claims partial ownership based on verbal agreements with your parents. What verbal agreements? He says they promised him the house years ago, that he's invested money in repairs. I laugh out loud. The only thing Owen's ever fixed is his dating profile. Send me the paperwork. There's more. Morgan pauses. He's talking to reporters, playing the family tragedy angle. Of course he is. I pull up my email, already seeing the interview request notifications rolling in. Handle it. Andrea, Tamara says after I hang up. You're smiling. Why are you smiling? Because I just remembered something. I open my cloud drive, scrolling through years of meticulously organized folders. Remember when Owen crashed my car? The one he never paid for? Yeah. Well, I kept the receipts. All of them. Every loan, every investment, every promise to pay back. I start forwarding files to Morgan. Let's see how his verbal agreement holds up against documented financial fraud. Jesus, Tamara whispers. You've been planning this for years. No. I close my laptop. I've been protecting myself for years. There's a difference. My phone buzzes again. A text from an unknown number. It's a photo of me at 16, sitting alone at the dinner table while the rest of the family crowds around Owen, celebrating his first business license. Another text follows. Found this while packing. Thought you should see who you really are. Mom's got a new number, I tell Tamara, showing her the screen. That's actually kind of sad. No, what's sad is I remember that night perfectly. Know what I was holding in that picture? I zoom in on my teenage self. The acceptance letter from MIT, full scholarship. Never even got to announce it. What did they say when they found out? They didn't. I turned it down. Owen needed the family's emotional support for his new venture. I blocked the new number. He filed bankruptcy 6 months later. The security alert pings again. Dad's loading the last box. You should talk to him, Tamara suggests. He seems to be the only one handling this with any dignity. Dignity? I pull up an old email from Dad. Here's what he wrote when I asked for help with startup costs. Sorry, sweetie, but Owen's new restaurant idea needs our resources right now. Maybe try something more realistic? And now you're worth 40 million. 43 as of this morning. I stand, gathering my things. The Tokyo deal closed. Andrea. Tamara grabs my arm. Just make sure this war doesn't cost you your soul. I think about the photo Mom sent, about that lonely girl at the dinner table, about years of careful documentation, of quiet preparation, of watching and waiting. My soul. I shake my head. They never saw that either. My phone lights up with another alert. Dad's leaving the driveway for what might be the last time. Let him take the photos. I've got the house, and in 6 days, they'll all see exactly what I plan to do with it. The letter arrives on a Tuesday, hand-delivered to my office in a worn manila envelope. Dad's handwriting, shaky but deliberate. Another guilt trip? Tamara asks, watching me turn the envelope over. No. I pull out several pages of lined paper. This is different. The first line stops my breath. Andrea, you were never part of the plan. What is it? Tamara moves closer. The truth, apparently. I start reading aloud. Your mother's career was taking off. Owen was already perfect in our eyes. Then you came along, unexpected, unplanned. Reese resented the setback. We tried to love you the same way, but... My voice cracks. Tamara takes the letter, continuing. Owen was everything we thought we wanted in a child. Charismatic, ambitious, social. You were different, quiet, always in your own world with your computers. Keep reading, I whisper. We didn't understand you. It was easier to focus on Owen, on things we could understand. By the time we realized our mistake, the pattern was set. You'd built walls we couldn't breach. I grabbed the letter back, skimming ahead. Here's the best part. When you started making money, we thought it was luck. When you kept succeeding, we told ourselves it was temporary. Now you own our home, and we finally see what we refused to see before. Andrea, Tamara starts. No, I crumple the letter. They don't get to explain it away. Not now. My phone buzzes. Owen again. Found an investor. Just need 90 more days in the house. Come on, sis. For family? Family, I echo, laughing bitterly. Hey, Tam, want to hear something funny? Remember that Christmas when Owen announced his CrossFit franchise plan? The one your parents remortgaged the house for? Yeah. Know what I was going to announce that night? I pull up an old email. My first $1 million contract, but Mom interrupted me to toast Owen's entrepreneurial spirit. The office intercom beeps. Ms. Holmes, the contractor's here to discuss the renovation plans. Send him in. I straighten my jacket, push the letter aside. Time to talk about the house's future. The contractor, Mike, spreads blueprints across my desk. So, complete gut renovation? All new everything? Everything. I point to the living room layout, especially this space. I want it unrecognizable. Andrea, Tamara interjects, maybe you should wait. For what? I trace the outline of my old bedroom. For more explanations? More excuses? My phone lights up with a text from Mom. Found your old report cards while packing. All those A's in computer class. Why didn't you ever tell us? I did, I mutter, blocking her newest number. Every single time. Mike clears his throat. About the timeline. We can start next week if... The intercom buzzes again. Ms. Holmes, your mother's in the lobby. She has... photos? I check the security feed. Mom's clutching a photo album, tears already flowing. Tell her I'm in a meeting. She says she's not leaving until you see these. I turn to Tamara. How long do you think she'll last this time? Andrea. Tamara's voice is gentle. Maybe you should look at the photos. Why? So I can see more pictures of Owen's celebrations? More evidence of how invisible I was? No. She picks up Dad's letter. So you can remember why you're doing this. The real reason. I stare at the blueprints, at the plans to erase every trace of my childhood. Fine. Send her up. Mom bursts in 5 minutes later, makeup perfectly smeared for maximum effect. Andrea, please, just look. You have 5 minutes. She opens the album with trembling hands. See? Here's your 5th birthday. You were so happy. That's Owen's birthday. I point to the banner in the background. I'm just in the corner. Oh. She flips pages frantically. Well, here's your high school graduation. You left halfway through. Owen had a business meeting, remember? Andrea, please. She clutches the album. We can fix this. I look at her, really look at her, for the first time in weeks. Her designer outfit can't hide the exhaustion, the fear. No, Mom, we can't. I stand up. Because you're not sorry about what you did. You're sorry about the consequences. That's not true. We love... 5 minutes are up. I press the intercom. Security, please escort my mother out. Andrea. She throws the album on my desk. You're making a mistake. No. I gather the renovation plans. I made those for 28 years. This is a correction. After she's gone, Tamara picks up the album. You want to keep any of these? I glance at the photos of a girl who spent years trying to be seen. No. I turn to Mike. Let's talk about demolition day. Eviction day dawns cold and gray. I arrive early, watching from my car as Owen's beat-up BMW finally pulls away from the curb, loaded with the last of his things. The garage door is his final statement. Spray-painted in angry red letters, "Real family doesn't do this." Classy, Tamara mutters from the passenger seat. Want me to call the painter now? No. I step out of the car. Let's see what else they left behind. The front door opens with my new key. Inside, the house feels hollow, echoing with emptiness and spite. They've taken what they wanted, left what they thought would hurt me. My old coding book stacked in the living room. My high school awards scattered across the kitchen counter. A trail of carefully curated guilt. Check this out, Tamara calls from upstairs. They left your MIT acceptance letter, pinned right to your old bedroom door. Of course they did. I climb the stairs. Probably just found it while packing. My bedroom is exactly as it was. The faded tech posters, the desk where I built my first website, the window I used to stare out of while dreaming of escape. You sure about the renovation plan? Tamara asks, watching me survey the room. Absolutely. I pull out my phone, dialing Mike. We start demolition tomorrow. A noise downstairs makes us both freeze. Hello, a woman's voice calls out. Andrea? I check my security app. It's Morgan, with someone I don't recognize. Up here, I call back. Morgan appears at the top of the stairs, followed by a young woman in worn jeans and a determined expression. This is Phoebe, Morgan introduces. She's here about the foundation proposal. The real reason I bought this house. Nice to meet you, Phoebe says, extending her hand. I've been following your story. The tech mentorship program you're planning. It's exactly what I needed 10 years ago. I look at her more closely. Tell me more. I aged out of foster care at 18, she explains, running her hand along my old desk. Taught myself coding using library computers. Built websites for local businesses, just like you did. But without support, without mentors, she shrugs. It took longer than it should have. And now, I ask, already knowing I'm going to like the answer. Now I have a small development company, 5 employees. But I want to help other girls like us. She pulls out her phone, showing me a simple website. I've been running free coding workshops at the library. When I heard about your plan to turn this house into a residence for women in tech. It's more than that, I tell her, warming to the subject. It's going to be an incubator, living space, training facilities, networking opportunities, everything I had to figure out alone. Everything they said you couldn't do, Tamara adds quietly. My phone buzzes. A final text from Mom. The neighbors say there's a demolition permit. Please don't destroy our memories. I show it to Tamara, who snorts. Our memories? Speaking of demolition, Morgan interjects, the contractors need the final plans today. I look around the room one last time. The posters, the desk, the window, all scheduled for destruction. But standing here with Phoebe, seeing the possibility in her eyes, I realize something. Change of plans, I announce. This room stays. What? Tamara stares at me. But you said, not as it is. I turn to Phoebe. How many women are in your current program? 12. All of them brilliant, none of them with resources. Perfect. I start taking photos of the room. We'll keep the basic layout, but modernize everything. Make it a reminder of where we start and where we can go. And the rest of the house? Morgan asks. Gut it. Transform every other space. I pause at the doorway. But this room becomes the blueprint room, where dreams get designed. Phoebe touches the MIT letter still pinned to the door. They really didn't support you, did they? No. I take the letter down, finally ready to let go. But that's exactly why this matters. Because somewhere right now, there's another girl being told her dreams are just a phase. My phone buzzes again. Owen this time. You'll regret this. Family is forever. I show the message to Phoebe. Want to help me prove them wrong? She grins. When do we start? Tomorrow. I lead them downstairs, past the scattered guilt gifts and abandoned memories. The demolition crew arrives at 8. Outside, I take one last look at Owen's spray-painted message. By tomorrow, it'll be gone, replaced by something better, something real. You okay? Tamara asks softly. Better than okay. I watch Phoebe taking pictures of the house, already planning workshops and coding sessions. I'm finally building something that matters. And somewhere across town, my family is about to learn what that looks like. Your brother's gone viral, Tamara announces, barging into my office 3 weeks into renovations. And not in a good way. She holds up her phone, showing me Owen's latest LinkedIn post. When family betrays, my sister's corporate takeover of our family legacy. Legacy? I scroll through the post. He means the house he nearly got repossessed twice? Keep reading. It gets better. Owen's post is a masterpiece of selective memory. How he mentored me in business. How our parents sacrificed everything for both of us. How my success corrupted me. The comments are pretty interesting, Tamara notes. She's right. Between Owen's supporters calling me heartless are comments from former classmates telling different stories. Stories about Owen borrowing money he never returned, about businesses he abandoned, about promises he broke. My phone rings. It's Phoebe. Have you seen the local news website? She asks without preamble. I pull it up. There's Mom, perfectly posed in her victim outfit, giving an interview. My daughter's success story became our family's nightmare. She looks good, I observe. Must have gotten her hair done for the cameras. Andrea, Phoebe says carefully, maybe we should respond. Oh, we will. I open my email. Send me the latest photos from the renovation. The house is transforming. The formal dining room where I was ignored is now a state-of-the-art computer lab. Owen's old room is a conference center. My childhood bedroom, preserved but upgraded, stands as testament to possibility. Perfect, I say, reviewing the photos. Time to show them what real legacy looks like. I craft a simple post. A new kind of family. Attached are before and after photos of the house, along with profiles of our first cohort of residents. 12 women with stories like mine and Phoebe's, ready to build their futures. That's it? Tamara asks. No defense against Owen's claims? The best revenge isn't explanation, I tell her. It's excellence. My phone buzzes. A text from Dad. The neighbors say there are young women living in the house already. Your first students moved in yesterday, right? Tamara asks. Yes, and they're already coding better than Owen can count. As if on cue, Phoebe sends a group photo. 12 women on the front porch, laptops open, learning and laughing in the space where I once felt invisible. Post it, Tamara urges. Show them exactly what they lost. I do better than that. I tag every local news station that ran Mom's interview. Caption: From family house to future home, how we're building tomorrow's tech leaders. Within hours, the story shifts. Reporters who interviewed Mom are requesting tours. Owen's LinkedIn rant gets buried under shares of our program's success stories. Even Mom's carefully crafted interview backfires when someone unearths her old Facebook posts bragging about Owen's failed ventures. Ms. Holmes? My assistant pokes her head in. There's a young woman here about the program. Says she saw the news? The girl who enters my office reminds me so much of myself it hurts. Nervous but determined, clutching a laptop held together with tape. I'm Sarah, she says. I saw what you're doing with the house. I've been teaching myself Python, but my parents say tech isn't for girls and... Show me what you've built, I interrupt, gesturing to her laptop. Her eyes light up as she opens her projects. Basic games, a crude website builder, simple but clever applications. Raw talent, just waiting for a chance. Just like I was. My phone buzzes again. Owen, predictably. You're making us look bad. No, I text back. I'm making you look exactly like who you are. There's a difference. I turn back to Sarah, who's still explaining her code with passionate detail. How soon can you move in? Move in? We have one spot left in this cohort. I pull up the application form. Unless you're not ready to prove your parents wrong? Her smile is answer enough. Later, Tamara finds me on the house's new roof deck, watching the sunset over the neighborhood where I grew up feeling small. Owen's taken down his post, she reports, and your mom's interview has been overshadowed by features about the program. Good. I show her my phone, dozens of applications flowing in, each from a girl with a story like Sarah's. Like mine. You know what the best part is? I ask. What's that? They thought this house was their legacy. I gesture to the transformed space below, where young women are already building their futures. But it's becoming exactly what it should have been all along, a place where invisible girls become impossible to ignore. My phone lights up one last time. A text from Mom. This isn't what family means. I look at Sarah through the skylight, already deep in code review with Phoebe. No, I whisper. It's better. The autumn wind carries the sound of laughter through the open windows of what used to be my parents' house. Inside, 20 young women huddle around computers, debugging code and building dreams. I stand in the doorway of my old bedroom, now called the Blueprint Room, watching Sarah mentor our newest arrival. Ms. Holmes, Phoebe appears beside me. The local tech council is here for the tour. Coming. I take one last look at Sarah, remembering how she arrived just months ago with a taped-up laptop and shattered confidence. Now she runs our junior mentorship program. The tour group waits in the transformed living room. Among them, I spot a familiar face. Dad. He's aged since I last saw him, standing smaller in his pressed shirt and careful smile. Our eyes meet across the room. "Welcome," I address the group, deliberately not acknowledging him. "Let me show you what we've built." I lead them through the house, watching Dad's reactions from the corner of my eye. The dining room where I was ignored is now alive with coding workshops. Owen's old room hosts a venture capital meeting, women pitching apps and platforms to actual investors. Our success rate is 93%, I explain. Every woman who's completed our program has either launched a startup or secured a tech position. "Impressive," someone says. "And the funding?" "Self-sustained now." I pull up our financials. 3 of our graduates have IPOs pending. They're reinvesting in the next generation. Dad lingers when the tour ends, pretending to study a wall of success stories. I let him wait, just like they made me wait all those years. "Andrea," he finally says, "you've done something remarkable here." "Yes," I agree. "I have." "Your mother," he starts. "Don't." I hold up my hand. "I saw her Facebook post about her prodigal daughter destroying family values." He winces. "Owen's latest business failed?" "I know. He tried to pitch our investors last week. They weren't impressed." "He's different now," Dad insists. "We all are. Seeing what you've built." My phone buzzes. A text from Owen. "Dad says you're giving tours. Ready to talk about family healing?" I show Dad the message. "Different?" "He needs help," Dad admits. "We all made mistakes, but no." I gesture to the house around us. "This is what help looks like. This is what support means. Everything else is just guilt looking for a handout." Sarah appears in the doorway. "Ms. Holmes, we're ready for the coding showcase." "Coming." I turn back to Dad. "Stay if you want. See what your daughter actually does." He does stay, sitting quietly in the back as our residents demonstrate their projects. His eyes widen at their sophistication, their potential, their certainty. Afterward, he approaches me one last time. "I have something for you." He hands me an envelope. Found it while cleaning out the garage. Inside is a photo I've never seen. Me at 13, hunched over my first computer, completely absorbed in coding. In the background, Mom is focused on Owen. Dad is looking away. But there I am, already building my future. "I'm sorry," Dad says softly. "We should have seen you then." "You're seeing me now," I reply, but only because I made it impossible not to. My phone buzzes again. Mom this time. "Your father says the house looks different. When are you coming home?" I look around at the women coding, learning, growing. At Sarah teaching a newcomer with the same patience I wish I'd been shown. At Phoebe coordinating with investors who see potential instead of phases. "I am home," I text back. "You just don't live here anymore." Dad nods slowly, understanding at last. "You've built something bigger than us." "That wasn't hard," I say, but without bitterness now. Just truth. He turns to leave, pausing at the door. "Your mother still hopes." "I know what Mom hopes," I interrupt. "But this isn't a story about forgiveness. It's about foundations." After he's gone, I join the coding showcase. Sarah's presenting a project that would have blown my teenage mind. Around her, other women lean in, eager to learn, to grow, to become visible. My phone lights up one final time. A letter from Dad. "You were always more than we could handle." I see that now. I delete it without responding. They don't need my words anymore. They have my actions. Every girl who walks through these doors, every dream that takes flight from this launch pad, every success story that starts where my invisibility ended, that's my response. They don't speak my name at family dinners anymore. but they remember it every time they pass this house. And that's enough. Because I'm not their daughter anymore. I'm something much more powerful. I'm their legacy.